this is the bumper cover that came off the back of the Blazer. And remember I was saying when I did the tailgate repair for those hinges, this broke. What happened was I think all but two of the pegs that actually hold that to the bumper tore out and broke. I'm not sure what type of plastic this is made out of. I didn't see any stamping that told me what it was. There are some part numbers, so I'm going to take a look online and see if I can't figure out what it is. If it's an ABS or PVC or what it might be, because I have different types of glues for different purpose. So maybe I'll get lucky. I actually numbered them all so I know where each came from, because they all broke off kind of uniquely. 2, 3, 4, 5 as an example should be like this when it fits back in, and it looks like they're going to line up and fit exactly as they should. I just hope that they're going to be structurally sound to actually hold on to that bumper. But anyway, I'm going to save you the boring details. I'm going to do a little bit of looking and find out what types of glue I can utilize on this. See if I can't get this working properly again. Also on the bumper strips, they've got these absorbent cones, these plastic pegs inside of it. I don't know whether or not you're going to be able to see, but in this end of mine, the last 5 have some damage to them. They're pretty squashed, so I'm going to try to actually rebuild those up so then this thing sits flat on the truck like it's supposed to. But we're going to see what we can do. I've already had this. I actually took it over in the shower and I scrubbed it down and cleaned it, so now it's in the house. So I'm going to figure out from here. I've been playing around with different methods and ideas here. I tried different kinds of glue and I wasn't having much luck. And I've been doing some research as well, and I haven't really got a whole lot of answers because I can't really figure out what this is made out of, what type of material, what type of plastic. So now I've gone and tried this stuff on. A little bit of PL, we'll see if it holds. I know it doesn't have a lot of flexibility once it's cured, but we're going to see. I'm just trying it with one at this point still. I've tried ABS cement, I've tried PVC glue. I've got another type of glue that's for vent pipes with a primer, and nothing seems to want to penetrate that plastic and get them to bond together. So I thought, well, next best thing is maybe like a super glue, or perhaps this PL would work for me. Once I get this one set up and cured, I'm going to let it sit for more than a couple of hours here. Then I'm going to see, I'll try to physically break it off, and if it breaks off, then okay, you know, then we tried. But if it can hold on there pretty well and get a good grip, good enough for me to reinstall this bumper cover, then I know that I'm on the right track, and I'll have to glue the rest of them into place as well. I was able to get some of the, I don't know that you'll be able to see, I'll try. I don't remember if you saw that or not, but some of the actual plastic nubs, I was able to kind of reconstruct them and get them to grow again, so they're functional again, and that should space the bumper back to where it should be, the bumper cover. So it's slowly getting back to where it should be at. I let the peg with all the PL cure overnight, and it feels pretty solid. I did take an attempt at putting on a second one, but the second one did not work at all. It peeled right off and it didn't adhere. So what I did, I went to the store and I bought some super glue, which has, this stuff's apparently good with plastic, and okay, fine. And then I found some Gorilla epoxy. I had another brand of epoxy, but it wasn't meant for plastic. This one is supposed to work on plastics and more, according to that. So we're going to see. I'm actually going to try the super glue first, because I know that that's super handy, and I'll use it no matter what. And if it works on this, great. Then I might end up returning that epoxy, but we'll see. This also says it'll bond in 5 seconds. So it's kind of appealing. So I decided to just keep moving. You guys are having a hard time seeing me, I apologize. The sun's shining. Can't really do too much. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them glued right now, so I'm on to the next one here. You know what, so far it seems to be doing alright. I gotta give them some time to set up and cure, and we'll see where it's at, and then I'll do a strength test and we'll see if they're gonna break real easy again. Realistically, between these holders, if all of them are there and glued in, and if they're all kind of sort of strong enough, maybe combined together, it'll be enough to hold this cover on the back of the Blazer and keep it from trying to run away from me. So it's been about 3 hours since I've set these up to glue. In the meantime, I got a haircut and showered. But check this out. If it was clamped a little tighter, I would be able to prove to you that just by grabbing these posts, I'm able to move the whole bumper. So I think the super glue did the trick. It's awesome. I want to let it cure for a couple more hours before I try to physically snap it onto the truck, because that'll be probably about the most stress it's going to have to take. Although that'll be pretty well straight, but there's a chance of some twisting and stuff, so I just want to make sure that it's going to be alright. The only one that's not super glue is the one at the very end here that's actually PL. So have a look there. They've all got white tape on them because I actually numbered them. When they broke off, they stayed into the bumper in that retaining slot that they fit into. So I numbered which slot was which. So I started off with 1, which actually wasn't there, it was totally gone. So the first number I did was 2, that way I knew it went into the second position, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 12. And then the last 2 were the only ones that came out intact, so whatever. But there we go, bumper cover should be all set. So this is the update now, the final update on the rear bumper cover. And the solution was super glue. It worked out perfectly. I actually snapped the cover on at about 6:30 in the morning yesterday, and then we drove to and from Niagara Falls. We put about 800 kilometers on the truck, and I haven't had any issues. It's not loose. It's not anything. It's exactly what it was before I broke it. So in case anybody's curious, you can super glue those tabs back into place, and at least it gives you a little more life expectancy out of the bumper. Just a general update. We didn't have any issues, knock wood, with anything on the truck. The worst that I had to deal with was a small drip from the oil cooler line, from the line that runs through the radiator. Because it's all unplugged, it had nowhere to go but out. So it just slowly seeped out while we were driving. But that little rag I had was just saturated, so it was kind of getting past that point. Outside of that, everything was perfect. So I think we're good. Another chapter is closed. Thanks for following along.